Google Bill Milliken, Google the family. They have been pillars for the Traverse City community. I mean, his grandfather owned this great store that once was the Milliken's department store. His grandfather, I believe, was mayor of Traverse City, like myself, and they started out really supporting the city of Traverse City and the natural resources and the people that live here. Something that's really super special in my mind, being a gay man, is in 2015, Bill Milliken signed an amicus brief to support same-sex marriage, and that really helped us as a town, as a state, move forward with the general acceptance of all people to Traverse City and the state of Michigan and to this country.
William G. Milliken, Michigan's longest-serving governor, was known for his environmental stewardship and civility in politics. During his tenure in office, from 1969 until 1983, Milliken lent critical support for Michigan's beverage container deposit law, expanded state funding for recreation and parks programs in Detroit, and signed the state's landmark Environmental Protection Act, as well as laws to protect sand dunes, control hazardous waste, and promote recycling. Milliken passed away in October 2019 in his native and beloved Traverse City. He was preceded by his wife Helen, herself a champion of environmental stewardship and the women's rights movement. A memorial service in celebration of Governor Milliken will be held on August 6 at the Interlochen Center for the Arts. In anticipation of the event, Flow is publishing a series of short video interviews with those who knew the governor and Helen well. Look for those videos in the coming days.
Hi, my name is Jim Carruthers, and I'm the mayor of the city of Traverse City. For anyone who lives in Traverse City, it was hard not to know Bill and Helen Milliken. They were at the forefront of everything progressive, everything great that has made Traverse City in Michigan what it is today, be it the environmental protection, be it women's rights, be it civil rights, rights for the LGBT community. Bill and Helen and their family always stood as leaderships in a role that supported all of those issues. His leadership, his skills, his ability to work with people, his passive, calm nature, all are special traits and qualities in the family as well as in politicians. He is a very special person. He should be always recognized as one of the great leaders of Michigan in this great country we live in called the United States of America, and it's an honor to have known him and his family and to celebrate his life. For me, being a summer resident my entire life and now being a permanent resident and mayor of Traverse City, was back in the mid-70s, Bill Milliken, as governor, sort of led the effort to put a citizen initiative out there to put the bottle bill before the citizens. I mean, we all noticed, being from other places of the country, that once the bottle bill was instated, where they had returns on your beer and soda materials, that the highways were cleaned up, that the environment was cleaned up almost immediately. So in a way, that was the start to some really great things that he ended up developing for our state. I mean, that's not even to mention the acts that he supported for this state: the Michigan Environmental Protection Act, the Inland and Lakes and Streams Act, the Wilderness and Natural Areas Act, the Sand Dunes Management Protection Act. I mean, all of these great things to protect the natural resources that make Michigan so great. Bill Milliken and Helen, by his side with his children, always were there to make sure that they were doing what's right for our natural environment. And that's really what draws so many people to Michigan. So they were complete leaders before many people's time in really knowing what was important to protect and save in this great state. Bill Milliken was a conscientious and well thought out leader for the state of Michigan. He brought civility to the office. He understood bipartisanship leadership, where you stepped out of your party's role to negotiate and to work together with both sides of the aisle. He didn't let the anxieties and frustrations of government bother him. He brought a sense of, as I said, civility to leadership, where you can work with both sides, you can get things done, you can still be friends, you could shake hands, have a beer, even though you disagree on issues. And he really set the model for good governance in Michigan, and to be an example as one of the great governors of this country of all time, honestly, because of his willingness to be able to work with everybody. I think Governor Milliken, his wife Helen, his son Bill Jr., and daughter Elaine really brought the important aspects of leadership around environmental protection, the rights, civil rights to all humans, the LGBT community, together to really understand and make policy around what's really important on a broad scale before their time. I mean, when I first moved to Traverse City permanently in the late 80s, early 90s, I first learned of their human rights activism through daughter Elaine, who was a feminist and supported women's rights and was part of the LGBT community, and who had parents that supported her every step of the way. So it was comforting moving from East Coast cities where human rights and LGBT protections were a little bit further along, while being in a small northern Midwestern town where things weren't so safe and so secure for us. It was hard to be here at first for that, being an out gay man myself, but learning that we had leadership and involvement from our political leaders at the state level that really at the grassroots of their efforts supported those things. And it took us a while to get protections in our state and in Michigan, and in Traverse City, but we've come a long way, and it was just really great to know that the Milliken family stood behind all of that.